Got a University of Miami fan there?
Yes. That's a cool hat, I'll tell you that.
Well, Scott Rice, who was so often used the first half of the season, has had his appearances more spaced out in the second half.
Yeah, he's had a few days off now, and I think one of the main reasons is, one, the Mets starters have gone a little deeper into games, and they've had more weapons to go to with Aardsma and Hawkins pitching the eighth. So, both of those guys, Aardsma and Hawkins, are kind of those crossover that can pitch against righties and lefties.
Last time Rice pitched, it was last Friday, the afternoon game in Washington. He worked a scoreless inning, so he's had 4 days of rest. Rob Brantley leads off for the Marlins in the home seventh. Brantley 0 for 2, twice as grounded out to the right side. Anderson Alvarez has come out on deck. He'll bat for himself, and why not? He's already 2 for 2 tonight. Well, Alvarez has certainly helped himself tonight. 3 double plays. And it's gotten him out of jams, and it's kept his pitch count down. 87 pitches through 7 innings for the Marlins starter. Ball and a strike to Brantley. So Mejia threw 96 pitches over 6 innings. He had a rough start to this game, but a good finish. He gave up 3 runs and 6 hits in his 6 innings of work. Walked only 1, struck out 4, threw a wild pitch, and allowed a home run. And while it wasn't the A+ effort that he turned in last Friday, it ends up being a quality start.
Still good, though. 1 walk in 13 innings. Solid.
Here's the 1-2 from Rice, and Brantley takes the slider in the dirt. 2-2. Well, the Pirates have tied up the Cardinals 4-4 as they go to the 6th. They have been relentless this week against the team they're battling for the best record in the National League.
And in their home ballpark against the Cardinals, I didn't see the attendance numbers, but they have to be through the roof.
They've been filling it up every game. Even that doubleheader yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon as Rice strikes out Brantley for the first down. The stands were packed.
That's great.
Which is just a great sight in Pittsburgh, since it's such a beautiful ballpark, and they're finally playing well enough to fill that place up.
Usually when you do this job, you're just doing the games objectively, but occasionally there comes a team that you tend to root for a little bit, and maybe that's the Pirates this year. 1992, the last time they were in the postseason.
Last time they had a winning record.
That's right. Even worse.
Ever since Sid Bream scored on Francisco Cabrera's base hit, and the Braves rallied to beat the Pirates in Game 7 of that 1992 League Championship Series, when Bonza's throw to the plate was just a shade too late. Anderson Alvarez is 2 for 2 tonight, an infield single and a bloop to right. And was it Andy Van Slyke who said that before Cabrera came up, he was waving Bonds to play more shallow, and Bonds ignored him?
Blew him off.
Shocker. You know who the bullpen coach was for that 1992 Pirates team? Terry Collins. It was his first year as a major league coach.
Wow.
Under Jim Leyland. Good sinker by Rice, and he takes care of Alvarez. So back-to-back strikeouts for Scott Rice. New York Mets baseball on SNY was brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads. So 2 out and nobody on. Now Christian Yelich has had a good night. Single, doubled, reached on an air. 2 for 3. He scored a run. So the among the deals that went down at the deadline today, the Baltimore Orioles picking up a starting pitcher from Houston. They get Bud Norris. Those two teams happen to be playing each other tonight. They're in the 7th inning. Astros 11, Orioles nothing.
Wow.
It's like, you want to take our best starting pitcher? Take that. Rice throwing hard.
Who did Houston trade? They ended up trading their closer Veras, Justin
Detroit.
Maxwell. They traded
to Kansas City,
and Bud Norris.
Well, They basically stripped down anybody with any major league experience. Yeah. They're going right back to scratch. And you know, they have the worst record in baseball at 35-70, which doesn't surprise anybody. But they feel as though they are replenishing much the way the Marlins did when they stripped everything down last year.
They've got a couple of young players though in the minor leagues, a center fielder and a shortstop that maybe a couple of years away. But we saw them in spring training and they were dynamite. George Springer.
Yeah, the center fielder.
Yeah, center fielder from Connecticut.
Carlos Correa, who was the number 1 pick in the draft, the shortstop, and the other kid was the first baseman, Jonathan Singleton.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Who they got in a deal with the Phillies. Now the 2-2. Yelich takes strike 3 called, and Scott Rice strikes out the side in the bottom of the 7th inning. Impressive performance for Rice. We go to the 8th. Mets at the top of the batting order coming up.